Thank you for staying tuned. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa during the week reappointed Kganyago as governor of the South African Reserve Bank for another 5 years. The government is also making efforts to give struggling state power firm Eskom more money for the current financial year and next to alleviate its acute liquidity problems. Our business analyst, Itumeleng Mafisa, joins us now from Johannesburg, South Africa, to tell us more about these and other major news coming from there. Hello, Itumeleng. Thank you for joining us. Good to see you.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So what key challenges does the central bank governor face, and are hopes really high that he can deal with these issues as he has been reappointed for another 5 years by President Ramaphosa?
Well, we see that Kganyago was reappointed once more as the governor of the central bank. But this is, of course, something we expected coming from the National Executive Conference of the ANC, which was held a few months ago. But what we are seeing here is that, we're seeing a re-election of the leadership. Of course, with the president trying to implement certain things and trying to make sure that the Reserve Bank does carry out its mandate. But what we saw is that, an announcement by the General Secretary of the ANC, which he did a few months ago, saying that, they're considering changing the mandate of the Reserve Bank. But we know that the current mandate of the Reserve Bank is actually to safeguard the rand and to actually look at the repo rate and target inflations. But what he had said, Ace Magashule, was that they're thinking of extending the mandate of the Reserve Bank to job creation and social development. This scared, of course, investors and people like rating agencies like Moody's and S&P. But of course, this was later said that it wasn't actually discussed, as ANC, and this was not actually target stamped policy of the ANC. But of course, the president also elected 2 deputies to help Lesecha in his job.
How did the markets react to this, talking about the equities, the currency, and of course the fixed income?
Well, we've seen that the rand has been steady, holding quite steady, of course. Yesterday the markets closed with the rand trading at around 13 rand 80 to the US dollar. But of course, this is good news of the appointment of Lesecha Kganyago. But again, what we're seeing as a good sign is, of course, the president's announcement of splitting Eskom, which is, of course, the ailing power utility of South Africa, into 3 smaller companies. That would be split into generation and capacity, and the third one as well. So this was an idea, of course, from government that would help aid Eskom to carry out its mandate. But we should also not forget that what the ANC had envisioned for Eskom was that it has a social mandate to carry out. So that's why it talks about privatization of Eskom are a bit, rattling for people like the ANC and other leaders who want to see Eskom carry out its social mandate. But also, we should not forget that Eskom has been bailed out lots of times. We have seen that the Minister of Finance, spoke of an appropriation bill for Eskom. This bill would be tabled in Parliament, and it would enable Eskom and other ailing state entities like SAA, Denel, and other state-owned enterprises to be bailed out. We also know that the South African Broadcasting Corporation has also been bailed out with reports of workers not being paid there. So we're seeing lots of changes regarding the Reserve Bank and the financial sector, and government taking hard decisions to make sure that the SOEs are actually productive. So we're about to see great things happening with Eskom, actually, with this proposed special appropriation bill. We should not also forget that Soweto and Johannesburg are among the high payers or high owers of Eskom. So this has been a debate knowing that Soweto is a black township which played an important role in the liberation of South Africa.
All right, thank you for your time, Itumeleng Mafisa. Thank you for your time. And the International Monetary Fund has approved a 3-year arrangement with the Republic of Congo for $448.6 million to support the country's economic and financial reform program. Now, this facility comes under the IMF's extended credit facility aimed at helping the country to restore macroeconomic stability, including debt sustainability, and lay the foundations for higher and more inclusive growth. Egypt has inaugurated an airport for the new capital as workers are rushing to build core areas of the city to replace Cairo, the existing capital on the Nile. The new airport is on a 1-month trial basis to service the city, which will become the country's new capital from mid-2020.
Egypt has opened a new international airport on a 1-month trial basis to service the city, which will become the country's new capital from mid-2020. The Capital International Airport is located some 70 kilometers, 44 miles to the east of Cairo, and is intended to relieve pressure on Cairo's international airport. A third airport near the Giza pyramids west of Cairo, the Sphinx International Airport, also opened in January.
The importance of the capital airport is that it partially eases the pressure on Cairo International Airport and Sphinx Airport. It will be a new outlet for Cairo specifically.
Aviation Minister Yunus Al-Masri told reporters at a ceremony after a flight left Cairo and landed at the new airport, which is about 48 kilometers from the city. The airport would serve areas east of the capital, including cities along the Suez Canal. Workers are rushing to build core areas of the new capital city that will be the seat of Egypt's government, away from the bustling Cairo on the Nile that has become a traffic-clogged urban sprawl of more than 20 million people.
Currently in this first phase, it accommodates up to 300 passengers, but this is only in the first phase. As explained by the aviation minister, anything in the world starts small and has the capacity to be expanded. As you saw upon entering the airport, it has a high potential for expansion.
The two new airports, built on opposite ends of Cairo, are aimed at helping to boost tourism, a key sector in Egypt and a major source of foreign revenue. The sector has been gradually recovering from the political turmoil and security problems that followed the Arab Spring civil unrest of 2011.
And with that, we draw the curtain on today's edition of the program and, of course, for the week. Thank you for watching. I'm Chimezi Obi Iwago.